You're watching 13 Wham ABC. And this is 13 Wham News at 11.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news, a hit and run in Brighton tonight.
Yeah, we're going to get right to Justin Carter live on South Clinton Avenue to bring us up to date on what happened tonight. Justin?
Don, Jenny, just to give you some perspective, we're right near the Tops Plaza on South Avenue. There's a lot of police on scene, including the Monroe County Sheriff's Office as well as Brighton Police. What we do know, we just learned this information the last 3-4 minutes ago, a hit and run investigation. A woman in her 30s found laying in the middle of the road, 8:30 p.m. a few hours ago. A passerby notices this woman and her purse in the middle of the road. They called 911. Officers respond, EMS responds. They send her straight to Strong Hospital. No word on her condition right now. We do know that there is life-threatening injuries with this woman. We do not know who she is. We do know she's in her 30s. We also know that the road is closed between Westfall and Rue DeVille. Again, a woman in her 30s struck by a vehicle. This is a hit-and-run investigation. Police say that the vehicle is nowhere to be found. A passerby noticed a woman laying in the middle of the road. They called police. Police arrived and found this woman. She is at Strong right now, and it's not known her condition, but life-threatening injuries for sure. We'll be sure to update you on 13 Wham News as well as 13wham.com for all the updates. We'll be getting that out as soon as we learn more information. We'll be passing that along to you. We're reporting live here on South Clinton Avenue tonight. Justin Carter, 13 Wham News.
All right, thank you. Also tonight, Charlie Tan, once accused of murdering his father in Pittsford, won't see another day in court, at least for now.
Today, a major decision in one of the biggest criminal cases in recent history. The DA's office says they saw this decision coming, but it might not be over just yet.
That's because in 30 days, the state's highest court could give them the green light to pursue another trial. Here again is Justin Carter.
A unanimous decision, 4 appellate court judges denying the chance that Charlie Tan face retrial for the 2015 murder of his father. Assistant District Attorney Kelly Wolfert says it's back to the drawing board.
We were right in asking for this court to consider the appeal. And at this point, justice still is not going to be served. And that's frustrating.
But in Wolfert's frustration is encouragement. Court justices agreeing that Tan's original trial should have never been dismissed. Judge Piampiano dismissed the case over a hung jury back then.
The DA's office can try and seek an appearance before the Court of Appeals. They're the highest court in New York State. I would hope in light of the ruling that they're not going to do that. They're not going to try and push this any further.
Wolfert says the DA's office isn't ruling that out, and today's decision won't stop her team from planning their next move.
So now we have to get over that legal hurdle, that technical legal hurdle that we knew from the beginning was going to be the hardest thing for us to get by.
The DA's office would have to ask permission from the highest court in the state, the Court of Appeals, which only considers a handful of retrial cases each year.
We're going to go back to the breaking news that began this broadcast. Justin Carter standing by live on Clinton Avenue at the scene of a hit and run and has some more information. Justin?
Yeah, Donna, we're going to go straight to Captain Dave Cataldi here for the Brighton Police Department. He just showed up. Dave, what can you tell us about this? Obviously, this is a hit and run, active police investigation right now. Around 8:30, you got the call.
At about 8:30 tonight, we did get a call for a pedestrian struck here in front of 2001 South Clinton Avenue. A passing motorist noticed a body laying in the middle of the road. We responded. She was eventually transported to Strong Hospital, she has life-threatening injuries. It is still an active investigation. As you can see, we have the Monroe County Sheriffs here assisting us on scene, taking measurements. And again, it's still an active investigation and hope to have more information tomorrow.
This woman's condition, when you got here, when EMS got here, how bad of shape was she in?
She was unconscious, and the way it was being described to me was she was not responsive.
So can you talk to us about witnesses? There were, obviously, this is a busy stretch of South Clinton Avenue. It's 8:30 in the evening. Right. It's not necessarily bedtime, but were there witnesses? Are you asking around for witnesses?
Again, we are speaking with the drivers of the motor vehicles that found her in the road. We believe she could have been attempting to cross the street, but again, that's only speculation at this point, and I want to be very careful with that. As you can see, it's dark out here, and it is raining tonight, so the road conditions are not the best. That's about all I have.
Captain Cataldi, thank you so much. Brighton Police Department, I appreciate that. So we'll continue to monitor this situation. Any updates, we'll be sure to give that to you on 13WHAM as well as 13wham.com. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Justin. A dark and dreary night, dangerous on the roads. We have breaking news elsewhere also. On a massive fire and bridge collapse along I-85 in Atlanta, 3 people have now been arrested.
Investigators aren't saying yet the fire started. The fire was caused the bridge to buckle last night. No one was hurt. Firefighters say repairing this bridge could take months. And a developing story on a potential new terror threat causing alarm across the world tonight.
Sources say terrorist groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda have been tinkering with ways to perfect a bomb that would be undetectable inside a laptop computer. Certain electronics are already banned on U.S.-bound flights from a number of Middle Eastern airports.
Friends are sharing their thoughts and prayers for an Irondequoit teen struck by a car on his way to school. Police say 14-year-old Michael Lynch was near Winona Boulevard and Cooper Road yesterday, just a block or so from school. He's in guarded condition. We're told his mother, Bernadette, is also battling cancer. Friends now raising money for the family.
For something so tragic to happen like that, when you're already dealing with something emotionally and physically taxing like cancer, it just kind of takes your breath away. It's like being punched in the stomach. She's told me all about Michael and how smart he is and how kind he is and how great of a kid he is.
Police are calling this a terrible accident and do not believe the driver was speeding or distracted.
Well, we are also watching the weather tonight. A spring soaker on this final day of March.
Yeah, the rain fell as the Irondequoit Bay Outlet Bridge closed once again to make way for the upcoming boating season. Here's Scott now with what April's gonna bring.
Well, drier weather to start tomorrow. That's the good news, but March is ending wet. We've had 30 straight hours of rain. Let's get to it right now on radar. And you can see what has been going on behind me and on your screen. Right there. Look at that. Heavier rain. But if you look off to the west, it's a lot quieter out here on the western county front. So that's good news. Storm system is the reason it's over Pennsylvania and moving off the coast. So all that steady stuff will wind down in the next couple of hours. It was a record rainy day today. 1.17 inches was the rainiest March 31st in 140 plus years of data keeping, a lot less to the south. So for tomorrow, we start out in the mid to upper 30s. Could be a few flurries or raindrops mixed in. By lunchtime, cold for April, cold for March, only around 40. And then later in the day, 41 with maybe a sliver of sun late in the day. Much sunnier on Sunday. That forecast coming up in a few.
All right. Well, a homeowner in Sodus finally knows the mystery behind his disappearing birdseed. It doesn't have feathers. A trail camera revealed the nocturnal visitor with a big taste for birdseed. Look at him.
I thought it was raccoons. And then when I saw that, I go, I got to show people this. It was amazing. He's up to here. His head is this high anyway. That's 6 feet.
Yeah, the DEC says this is a good reminder. Take down your bird feeders between April and November to keep those bears at bay.
Fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn says he wants immunity if he's going to talk to Congress. But at this point, it does not appear the FBI is on board. Right now, there is no indication the Bureau would be open to any such deal. They're investigating Flynn as part of the probe into Russia's alleged meddling into the presidential election. President Trump calls the probe a witch hunt. Thousands of former Trump University students are getting a refund. A judge approved an agreement for President Trump to pay $25 million to settle lawsuits. Attorneys say some students will get at least 90% of their money back. Trump denied claims that students had been cheated out of money through false claims over what they would get.
Well, new images tonight of a landing that suddenly took a terrifying turn on a runway in Peru.
A flash of fire sparked a major emergency, and Matt Gutman tells us how everyone survived.
For this Peruvian 737 with 141 people on board, the problems really started after its emergency landing. In this newly obtained video tonight, you can see the jostling intensify and the man filming turning the camera to the passengers inside the cabin. Suddenly, they're illuminated by the flash of that explosion outside. The plane comes to a stop, flat on its belly, trailing that stream of flaming fuel. Frantic passengers escaping front and back in Tuesday's crash landing. But look closely. Most don't appear to be carrying anything as they scramble off the front of the jet. Another explosion hits. And despite the chaos, there were no serious injuries, likely experts say because passengers didn't try to take their carry-ons with them. Experts say carry-on luggage can clog the aisles and cost lives. They also recommend keeping your shoes on during takeoff and landing because you never know when you might have to make a run for it. Matt Gutman, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And updating breaking news again tonight. A hit-and-run accident in Clinton Avenue in Brighton. A woman said to be in her 30s struck by a car about 8:30 this evening. As you see, investigators still at the scene reconstructing what happened there, Jenny.
Yeah, that woman has life-threatening injuries being treated at Strong. The search now on for that driver. We'll be back in a moment.
Got a record today, 1.17 inches at the airport. Give me shelter, Mick. You need it with this rain today. Look at that. Now, you look at March. This is rain and snow combined. Precipitation, top 10 month, March 2017. For wetness, here's today in a nutshell you don't want to open. Look at that thing. Just cloudy all day, miserable all day long, low clouds and rain. You can see it still on Ultimate Doppler. Here you can see that we still have some pretty good rain falling pretty much from Monroe County back off to the east, but we're seeing the last vestiges here. We're seeing that rain convergence zone shrinking now, so the returns we see are getting less brilliant and still having pretty frisky down in Ithaca right now. Storms departing south of Philly, Wilmington, Delaware, moving with pretty good speed now north and east, so this will start moving away at a pretty good clip here through the next 12 hours or so. Neighborhood weather for you tomorrow. We may begin with flurries, just a couple, and especially south. Not a big deal. There's not really any lake effect happening, just a couple of snow flurries. Afternoon, if we're really super duper lucky, we might perhaps maybe possibly see a little bit in the way of some sunshine later in the day. Here it is at 10 a.m., cloudy, flurry. In the afternoon, though, look at that clearing line starting to move on to the east here. So we do expect that to occur. And then look at Sunday. Looking nice. We should have a lot of sun, ample sun as we go through the afternoon hours on Sunday. So as we take it through the afternoon zone-wise tomorrow, it's going to be upper 30s, low 40s. If we get a little sun, we might get over 40 in Geneseo, Avon too, and further north, right up here across the lakeshore. So depending on where you are, I think the clearing line will be nearest to Albion and Holly and Hilton. Sunny there, maybe late day. And then after that, it'll start moving into everybody for Sunday. The next 7 days of your life are on TV right now for you. There's Sunday, 52 degrees, looking really good. Now on Monday, 59, maybe a late day or evening shower. And then going beyond that, Tuesday, 57, a pretty good shot of rain on Tuesday. Wednesday looking pretty good, 57. Then into the 60s as we go forward into Thursday. Finally, a little bitty taste of spring coming. That'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be very good.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. A reminder, we continue to follow breaking news of a hit and run in Brighton tonight.
And Justin Carter live on the scene now with the latest for us. Justin?
Well, Doug, Jenny, accident reconstruction personnel, they're here right now. That is the sheriff's department as well as Brighton Police. They just got here, accident reconstruction representatives. And we're just going to swing the camera around. As you can see, this is in front of the Brookdale Senior Living Facility. It's right across the street from the Tops Plaza. You can see there's a heavy police presence here. Not of lights on the street. It's raining, so it's definitely a recipe for some type of a bad situation out here. You can also see in the distance this lady's purse in the middle of the road, in the middle of the street here on South Clinton Avenue. Hit and run investigation. Somebody finds this woman. She's possibly in her 30s, maybe early 40s, laying in the middle of the road, unresponsive. As soon as we learn more information about that and about her condition, we'll be sure to pass that along to you. We're reporting live here in Brighton, Justin Carter, 13 Wham News.
Now, 13 Wham Sports, driven by Bob Johnson Chevrolet.
Hey, catch them while you can and while they're this fun to watch. The Amerks have won 3 in a row but have just 6 home games left this season. Starting tonight against Utica, I got to tell you that balloon head on the right is terrifying. After a scoreless first, we pick it up in the second. Derek Grant, 6 goals last week, just an assist to Casey Nelson here for 1-0. Then it's Nick Baptiste, the first of 2 for him. This one coming on a deflection, made it 2-zip, much to the delight of the Moose. It's 3-0 in the third. Justin Bailey, 1 time. This is a lost season playoff-wise, but this is a great stretch for the Amerks. They get the win tonight. 5-2 the final score. A labored dispute in the rearview mirror now for Team USA. The women taken to the ice to take on Canada in the World Championships after coming to that landmark agreement earlier in the week. Megan Bozek to Brianna Decker. United States waited until there was 2 minutes left in the second to score, but that's the first one. This is the second. Gigi Martin uses the inside of the defender to knock it through. US of A, after an emotional week, comes out and wins it today. 2-0 the final over Canada. The women's Final Four right now in progress. South Carolina playing for a title after the win. UConn and Mississippi State. Hey there, UConn was down 9 after 1. They have come back to tie it late in the third quarter. If you want to play college lacrosse, you need to start young because spots at big-time schools fill up early and fast. Both Syracuse men's coach John Desko, women's coach Gary Gate, and countless other D1 lacrosse coaches are on record saying they don't like early recruiting, but if they don't partake, their programs won't compete because there aren't any rules against it. That might be changing soon.
When it comes to recruiting, lacrosse is a different ballgame.
It's really in the summer recruiting season when they're playing travel and the coaches are lining the field. It's like the NFL Combine.
John Galbraith's son, John Jr., is a senior at Pittsford, but committed to Colgate as a sophomore.
You know, they don't know what they're going to study. I mean, my son committed before he could drive a car.
Pittsford Athletic Director Scott Barker's been through this process twice with sons Brandon and Colby.
Both of them, the summer between their 8th grade and 9th grade year, it started. You've got kids committing that haven't even stepped on a varsity field yet to play lacrosse.
Fairport senior TJ Hendricks committed to Ohio State as a sophomore. Early recruiting was okay for him, but his mom tells us that his sister didn't want any part of it.
She finally said to me this fall, she's like, you know, Mom, I don't think I want to play in college. And we said, that's okay, that's fine. And then as we dug a little further, she said, I just can't imagine talking to a